Have you ever seen something so massive it just breaks your brain? Today, we're diving into a world where size is everything. I'm talking about machines so big, they look like they're from a sci-fi movie. These aren't your average construction toys. These are titans of engineering that can move mountains. Literally. We're going to explore some of the most insane, most powerful, and most expensive pieces of equipment on the planet. And when I say expensive, I mean some of these cost more than a private jet. Get ready, because what you're about to see is going to completely blow your mind. We're about to go on a global tour of pure mechanical power. Here are some of the monster machines in the world. Giants in mining and earth moving, with origin power and capacity and rough price estimates that will make your wallet cry. We've got bucket wheel excavators that are the largest land vehicles ever built, dump trucks that can carry the weight of a small building, and bulldozers that push around dirt like it's nothing. Each one of these behemoths has a crazy story, mind-boggling specs, and a price tag that is just astronomical. I promise you, by the end of this video, you will have a whole new respect for engineering. We're going to break down just how these things work, what they're used for, and how much it would cost to get your hands on one. All right, first up, we have the undisputed king of all land vehicles. This is the Bagger 293, and it's not just a machine, it's a moving landmark. Built in Germany by a company called Tachraf, this thing is the definition of overkill, and I absolutely love it. Imagine a machine that's almost as long as 2.5 football fields, stretching about 225 meters. Now imagine it's as tall as a 30-story building, standing at a staggering 96 meters high. It's so big, you could literally park a fleet of jumbo jets on it and still have room to spare. The sheer scale is hard to even comprehend. The Bagger 293 weighs an unbelievable 14,200 tons. That's the same as 2,000 adult African elephants all stacked on top of each other. Just think about that for a second. The engineering required to even make something this heavy move is just next-level insane. It was built to strip mine for coal, and its main purpose is to chew through the earth like it's cake. It doesn't dig, it consumes. The main feature is its massive bucket wheel, which has 18 buckets, each one big enough to hold a small car. It's a rotating wheel of pure destruction. So, how much earth can this monster actually move? Get ready for this number. In a single day, the Bagger 293 can excavate 240,000 cubic meters of soil and rock. That's enough material to fill an entire professional football stadium up to the brim. To power this colossal appetite, it doesn't have its own engine. That would be impossible. It needs to be plugged into an external power source, gulping down about 16.56 megawatts of electricity. That's enough to power a small city. It's an absolute energy monster, devouring land and electricity at an incredible rate. Now for the question you've all been waiting for. How much does this absolute unit cost? When it was built back in the 1990s, the price tag was approximately $100 million. 100 million. You could buy a fleet of supercars, a mega yacht, and a private island for that price. Now we're moving from hauling to pushing. And for that, you need a bulldozer. But not just any bulldozer. You need the biggest bulldozer in the world. This is the Komatsu D575A, the super dozer, made in Japan by Komatsu. Since its introduction, it has dominated large-scale earth moving. When you need to push a literal mountain of dirt, rock, anything else, this is the machine you call. It makes regular bulldozers look like children's toys. The power behind this beast is just staggering. The D575A's engine cranks out around 1,150 horsepower. That's the kind of power you'd find in a high-performance hypercar. But instead of breaking speed records, it's used to generate immense pushing force. The machine itself weighs between 131 to 152 tons. That incredible weight is crucial because it gives the dozer the traction it needs to push unimaginable loads without just spinning its tracks. It's pure, unstoppable force applied directly to the ground. But the real business end of the super dozer is its blade. This isn't just a piece of metal. It's a gigantic, specially designed tool for moving earth. The blade is so huge that in a single pass, it can push between 60 to 90 cubic yards of material. That's like clearing an entire residential swimming pool full of dirt in one go. Imagine trying to do that with a shovel. The D575A is used in the biggest mines and construction projects in the world. It's the ultimate tool for reshaping the landscape. So, what's the price for this king of all dozers? Well, Komatsu is pretty tight-lipped about the exact cost. The price isn't publicly listed, and it's sold to major industrial clients. However, based on its size, power, and the cost of similar large-scale equipment, it's safe to say it costs several million US dollars. You're not just buying a machine, you're buying a unique capability that very few pieces of equipment can offer. Owning a Komatsu D575A means you can literally move the earth, and that kind of power comes with a very, very hefty price tag. This is the Liebherr R9800, one of the largest and most powerful hydraulic excavators in the world. Made by the German-Swiss company Liebherr, a giant in the heavy equipment industry, this machine is a true apex predator of the mining world. It was designed for one purpose, to load the world's biggest dump trucks, like the Belaz we just saw, in the fewest number of passes possible. Everything about this machine is scaled up to an absurd degree. It's a titan among excavators. Let's, break down the specs, because they are just insane. The Liebherr R9800 has an operating weight of around 800 tons. That's right, 800 tons. It's like having a naval destroyer sitting in the middle of a mine. This immense weight provides the stability it needs to wield its massive arm and bucket with precision and power. It's so heavy that it has to be transported to the worksite in multiple pieces and assembled on-site over several weeks. You can't just drive this thing down the highway. You have to build it where you plan to use it. The heart of its power comes from its dual-engine setup. You can get it with 2 Cummins or 2 MTU diesel engines, which together generate a colossal 4,000 horsepower. This power drives the massive hydraulic system that controls the arm and bucket. And speaking of the bucket, it is absolutely enormous. Depending on the configuration, its bucket can hold between 42 to 45 cubic meters of material. With that capacity, it can fill a truck like the Caterpillar 797F in just 3 or 4 passes. It's a perfect dance of giants, a digger, and a hauler working in perfect, massive harmony. As with many of these top-tier machines, Liebherr doesn't put a price tag on the R9800 in their public brochures. These are highly specialized pieces of equipment sold directly to massive mining corporations. However, industry experts estimate the cost to be many millions of US dollars, likely well into the double digits. When you're buying a machine that can scoop up 75 tons of rock in a single bite, you're paying for unparalleled productivity. The Liebherr R9800 isn't just an excavator. It's a money-printing machine for any large-scale mining operation, and that capability is priceless. Chapter 5. Now we're heading over to the USA to look at an absolute icon of the mining world. This is the Caterpillar 797F, one of the most famous and widely used ultra-class haul trucks on the planet. When you think of a giant yellow mining truck, this is probably the one that comes to mind. Caterpillar is a legendary American company, and the 797 series is their flagship hauler. These trucks are the workhorses of mines all over the globe, known for their reliability and incredible power.